is bright and early 7 a.m. and it's already 80 plus degrees. Nothing momentous to show. Basically going to do the second picking of the tomatoes and get ready for doing canning tomorrow. I didn't end up canning this past week, even though I had picked the tomatoes. I figured they were still pretty firm. They're sitting inside and ripening up a little bit, and then I'm going to pick whatever is pickable. Things in various stages of ripening. So the biggest thing, although you can hear everything sounds like it's running and doing well, I had to, you can't really see anything, but I had to fill the tote back here by hand. So there's a float valve underneath all of there, and looks like about once a year I have to replace it because the nutrient flowing through it gets it all mucked up and it doesn't actually allow things to fill. So even though the big tote is pushing nutrient, you can see where it comes in the back, it's not actually filling the tote. So fortunately for having Amazon, new float valve arrives today, so it must have been local because I ordered it yesterday afternoon and it will be here sometime today. So I either have to do it in the middle of the heat or wait until maybe tonight. It's supposed to be 108 to 113 today, so who knows how cool it's going to be at a reasonable time while there's still daylight out to do what I need to do in here. Yes, technically I can, bring a light in and do what I need to do. I'm seeing some rippling in there. So you can't tell with the camera, but I can see some rippling, so you see the water that's moving in there. So yeah, that's really it. The greenhouse is forever bowing and shrinking. The incredible shrinking greenhouse. Let's see what we got hiding down in here. Yeah, so these are more on the orange side than they are deep red, so I've been trying to let some of these sit here a little bit longer. On camera they look more red than they really are. And then there's some, let's see what we got going on down here. There's spider webs everywhere in here. It's kind of gross. Good looking tomato though. They're really firm. Well, these are very meaty tomatoes anyways. That's so gross. Spider webs. Just feel it creeping across your head. Anyway, so I figured I'd get my butt up early in the morning and come out, pick the rest of these before it got too hot. I think I showed these the other day, but we'll do them again. I need to do some pepper picking. So there's our orange lunchbox and our red lunchbox. Here's that big truss of cherries, all red and ready to get picked. So the tomatoes are doing really well, or the little cherry tomatoes. I think I said if I grow cherry tomatoes, although they grow well, I'll go with the smaller ones. These are large cherries. And everything else is just really doing the same. It's a bit, like I said, it's been too hot. I have replacements to try to get out here, but they wouldn't last a day in this triple degree weather. This plant never recuperated from, you know, having water issues, so I never got in and cleaned it out. It's just been too hot, so just leaving things as they are. I mean, the rest of the plant's lively, but you know, that's what happens. You don't get water, then you croak. So like I said, other than that, it's just harvesting tomatoes. Nothing special, nothing changing. The plants are leaning real heavy. I've just let them fall down instead of trying to stake them up or string them up. So the lone bay leaf is doing its thing. Try not to give it too much water. It actually probably has more water than it needs. One little crispy leaf, a couple new buds poking out. What a slow growing plant. I mean, it's just crazy. I wish I had access to someone who had a bay leaf tree, and I'd like to do an air layer. How they do that is, you know, trim part of a branch off towards the where you want to cut it off and pack it with dirt or potting mix or whatever, and you wrap it with plastic, tie it or zip tie it real tight, and then cover it with black plastic or aluminum foil for about a month, and it'll root, and then you cut it off behind there. But as you can see, this one died, which I already pulled out, and then these in here, between the heat and the moisture, these three are dead. They're not coming back to life. So I'm probably going to order from the same person I got them from before. What I did learn watching some videos about propagating other types of trees is I probably needed to tape the top so the top didn't dry out, and probably use some different rooting hormone. Not that what I use was good or bad, because I don't really have a reference point, but most of the people are using a gel or a powder, and this was a liquid, so probably try to pick up some different rooting hormone. And in theory, sometime this weekend, I'll be picking some of these tomatoes and go visit a coworker who has a dwarf Meyer lemon tree, and get some cuttings off of there and try to grow lemons. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, other than that, I'm gonna get to picking, so we'll maybe splice in the what I end up canning and go from there. So until next week.